You won't believe the transformation at the end, so stick with it. Today we're honoring the life of Mary Doan Guy, a woman whose journey took her from the shores of Port Ontario to the busy streets of Watertown. Mary was born November 12, 1862, at Port Ontario in Oswego County. She was the daughter of George Doan and Mary Taylor Doan. And the early years of her childhood was spent right along the waters at Port Ontario and nearby Sackett's Harbor, a stretch of shoreline that has seen so much history. Mary would have grown up surrounded by ships, lake winds, and the rhythm of life in a small lakeside community. Her adult life brought her to Rochester, where she married Clarence S. Guy around the late 1800s. Clarence had come to the United States from Kingston, Ontario, and eventually became a long-time foundry superintendent at the New York Air Brake Company of Watertown. Together, Mary and Clarence built a life that revolved around both hard work and deep family connections. They had several children, each of whom carved their own path, but the bonds between them stayed strong. Their son, Harry S. Guy, remained in Watertown for much of his life. Their daughter, Caroline, stayed connected to the city as well. And then they had their daughter, Kathleen. She made her home in Bronxville with her husband, Otis. They also had their youngest daughter, Ella. She moved to Jackson Heights with her husband, Herring. They also had their daughter, Helen, or Nellie. She was born in 1891. She died at the age of 31, but we're going to do her own story in another video. The couple moved to Orwell about 6 years before Mary's passing, and they settled into a quiet country life surrounded by fields and quiet roads. Mary's obituary notes that she had been in poor health for several years, and in December of 1938 she passed away at home at the age of 76. Cause was listed as a heart attack following a bout of the grippe, which today we would probably call influenza. Mary was a member of the Church of the Redeemer in Watertown and the Ladies' Aid group there. Her funeral was held at the church, officiated by Reverend Douglas, and she returned to Watertown one final time to be laid to rest here in North Watertown Cemetery, besides the family she loved in the city where she spent most of her time. She was born before the Civil War had fully settled into history. She witnessed the growth of an industrial Watertown, the rise of the Air Brake Company where her husband worked, and a world that shifted towards telephones, automobiles, and the electric light. Every name on a stone represents a lifetime of love, hard work, and connection. Mary's story is one of movement, resilience, and family ties that reach from Port Ontario all the way to the busy neighborhoods of New York City, where her children and grandchildren built new lives. Until the next stone, thanks for watching.